welcome to another video with Dragon. Today I will be talking about the wireframe modifier. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so here I am in Blender, and if you want to add the wireframe modifier, you can go to Modifiers, under Generate, and it's at the very bottom of these Generate modifiers. So by getting there, you can click Wireframe, and you can see that we have a thin wireframe modifier. To change the thickness, you can just slide this bar, and you can see that it can get pretty thick and very thin. Then you can change the offset if you want the wireframe to be inside the model or outside the model. Or 0 is just flat out in the middle of it. And the best way to show this is if you change Replace. You can see that Replace adds the model back there, so the cube is back how it normally was. And to 0, it's just looks like it's coming out, but that's just because the wireframe is going around the vertexes or edges around the cube. So the offset of -1 would be inside, and you can't see it unless you go to Shift-Z, which is wireframe mode, and you can see it in wireframe. Then if you want to get it outside the model, then you can go to 1, and you can see that you can start seeing it slanting inward. So that is what Replace All does, and the offset, even, just make sure that it is even throughout the model. This can sometimes be an issue, so sometimes you do want to turn even off, and that is why they even have that option. The next option is Crease. As you can see, it doesn't look like it does anything, but that's because this is actually meant to be to go with the subdivision modifier. So if I apply that, or not apply it, but add it, you can see that here is what subdivision does to the wireframe, which actually looks kind of cool. But if you do Crease, you can see that it's just basically went away, and if you change this crease level, a lower level will mean the subdivision works a little bit better, but you can basically change how much subdivision is being applied to the wireframe modifier, which is actually pretty cool. Okay, so this next option, I added another object so that I could show you this better. So as you can see, there is colors to this one. And then if I add the material, you can basically choose the colors. So by changing the materials, it changes the wireframe based on what you had on your cylinder. It's going to be one of those 3 colors because I had 3. So if you leave it at 0, it's basically going to copy what you have without wireframe. As an example, if I go just hide the wireframe, you can see that I have these colors, and when I add it back, it all has the colors in the same spots. But changing the material would change where it's at. Okay, so this final option is vertex groups. As you can see, I am in edit mode, and that's because if you go apply vertex groups and assign these to these vertexes down here, and then go back to the modifiers, I can go in and select these vertex, that group, and you can see that it actually limits where these vertexes are. It's actually pretty cool. It makes it so that instead of having wireframe all the way around it, it only has where the vertex groups were applied. You can also go and change a little bit more of this and add more modifiers. Okay, so say I want the wireframe only where I made these 2 vertex groups. So as you can see, if I select this one, the 2 vertex groups are top and bottom. And if I go in and apply the modifier, a wireframe modifier, it does this, but add the vertex group, the first one, and I have it up here. Then I want to do it to the same thing to the bottom one. If you do this though, you do need to make sure that you do not have Replace on, otherwise it will replace the other one as well, and that's probably not the result. And as you can see, it actually looks pretty cool, and you can limit where you want these things to go. Well, there we have it. I hope you found this basic intro to the wireframe modifier useful. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!